Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I've got Donna Riley here with me. She is a member of Alchemy of Healing, a membership group that I started knowing that there's more ways to heal. There's so many opportunities out there. Many of us feel like we've tried everything or don't know where to look, and the Alchemy is a place where you can go. It's kind of a clearinghouse for all different modalities. So I'd love to see you there. But we're focusing on Donna Riley today. She is the founder of Orgasmic Movement. And so Donna, how are you today?
I'm wonderful. Thanks for having me.
You look wonderful. Sure
Thank
thing.
you.
My pleasure. So my first question, I'm just curious, what brought you to join Alchemy of Healing?
Well, I saw some of your, I think it was originally through an email or something. We have some similar contacts and some similar colleagues. And I was reading about your membership and kind of what you were up to and where you were coming from. And I thought, this is so in alignment with me and what I'm about. And so I just saw it as a way to collaborate with another colleague and a way to connect with like-minded people. And hopefully also get some new tips and information for myself.
Very good, very good. Well, I hope I've been helpful in that capacity.
Yeah.
So thank you. So tell me a little bit about who you serve, what your plans are with Orgasmic Movement. How do you help people?
So I focus on movement from the perspective of getting into the yummy, juicy quality of movement, and from the perspective of actually just feeling good to tap into the body's capacity to heal itself. One of my primary objectives for people overall is to help them tap into their divine intelligence. So in my experience, working with bodies for so many years, people have become very sort of rigid and stiff. And when you are holding all that tension and rigid in your body and, feeling in pain or feeling frustrated because you're limited and all that, then that puts you in this sort of negative headspace, right? Or you get fearful, then that adds more tension to the body and more stress in the body. So really kind of looking and approaching it from the perspective of healing, of really looking at how does the body move when it actually is targeting healing. And I see movement as an expression of yourself and as a way to move through life. So for me, how you move just day to day is a metaphor for how you move through life. Yeah.
Excellent. I love it. And I've heard that maybe you've heard this adage as well. It's like your business is a reflection of you. And so
Sure.
what you're saying is how I move my body is a reflection of me.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
I'm feeling emotionally, how I'm feeling spiritually, and how I'm feeling physically.
Exactly.
Fascinating.
Exactly. And what I've noticed lately, and I also look very multidimensionally. So my gift ultimately is that when a body moves, I see the layers of who they are. And so in my experience, especially lately with all the chaos and stress in the world, the missing component is emotionality, meaning the ability to let emotions process through you, but also the ability to practice self-care, to have some self-worth and self-esteem, and really understand what that means to practice self-care, right? So I forgot to say I specialize working with women, and so I really encourage them to allow whatever shows up when we're moving. So for instance, and I do one of my programs is working with fascia release work, and I encourage them, if during the experience all of a sudden randomly you start crying or you want to cuss or you want to scream, let it out. Like that's your body telling you that it's
Right.
there, right? Like, especially as women, sometimes we tend to hold it in and pretend like everything's okay. And then our body feels that over time and it affects our body over time. So yeah, so looking at the multidimensional aspect of this human physical form, right? And addressing it that way, not just looking at the physical. It's way beyond just the physical, right?
Yes.
So yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So, did you have a story about a client or anything that you felt like sharing, or something, something we might look for as we're maybe walking
Mm-hmm.
that might give us a little insight into some problem? Does that make sense? Is that a good?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I can share with you two quick things. One of them is when you're walking or anything you're doing at any moment, are you even aware of your body? Right? So even just like taking a moment throughout the day and kind of being like, what am I noticing like in my body? I know that sounds like a silly question, but you'd be surprised, right? A lot of people are actually in their heads all the time. So asking them, what is your body feeling right now? That's actually takes a minute to kind of check in. The other thing is to really notice your breath. So the breath, to me, the way I talk about it, it's the basic level of expansion and contraction in the body, right? All our cells are constantly expanding and contracting. And sort of our way that we can connect to that and feel that is connecting to our breath. So just notice, you know, are you breathing really shallow? Do you tend to breathe into your belly? Do you tend to breathe with like your shoulders shrugged up to your ears, right? So just noticing kind of your breath. And I encourage people throughout the day to just every once in a while take a couple, like 5-10 really full expansive breaths and just connect to what that feels like, to truly feel the expansion and to feel the contraction. Right? And the more you can expand, the more you can contract. So therefore, I call it breathing in more life force energy, right? And breathing in more power and breathing in more capacity to expand, right? And to also release and let go of the things that are being held and no longer serving you.
Yeah.
So those would be two things I'd kind of have people check in
Wow. Those are awesome tips. Thank you for that. So check in with your body and breathe.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And your work sounds fascinating.
Thanks.
So, did you have a way or that my listeners can check in with you or get in touch with you if they have questions that they?
Absolutely. So you can find me on Facebook. So it's Donna Riley. I do also have a Facebook page, which I have to admit is not really very active. So you're better off to just check my personal page. And then you can email me, which means you can also messenger me through Facebook. Or you can also go, if you want to email me, if you have any questions, it's orgasmicmovement@gmail.com.
Okay. All right. And your Facebook group is, your Facebook is Donna Riley.
Yes.
Riley.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Donna. I really,
Thank you.
really do appreciate our time together.
Me too. Thank you.
Well, my pleasure. And thank you all for joining us. And I hope you enjoyed this interview as much as I enjoy hearing what Donna has to share with us in the world. So don't be shy. Ask her any question. All right? Bye for now.